In the books, we are at the last game of the day, the final semifinal, as looking for our last team to take the stage tomorrow night in the finals action. What we've got in front of us should be a good one, though. It is the number 2 seed at Salt Lake Community College Bruins versus the Harcum College Bears. And, or as I've been jokingly referring to it as Bears versus Bears. No, it's not exactly correct. Anyway, so I'm Jeff Boone here with Mike Smith. Hi, Mike. How we doing?
Good, good. I'm anticipating a good matchup. You know, this Harcum squad.
Fala galera, começando agora o jogo. Eita, chegou minha comida aqui, rapidão que já vou pegar.
Salt Lake was a battle tested. They got upended and upset in the pool play, but they bounced back very admirably and in a big way and beat a very good Barton team to get into the champion or the semifinals, championship if they win this one. But it should be an interesting one. I mean, Salt Lake has been a top 5 team all year. Harcum breaking into the polls late.
Pronto, mas enfim, vai começar agora Harcum contra Salt Lake. Até a transmissão mesmo deles, eu até tentei em outro link, tá dando umas travadas aqui, mas espera aí que deve voltar, deve ser alguma instabilidade deles lá, tanto que quando muda de câmera volta. Aí, agora já tá ok. De novo, o brasileiro que tá hoje na partida é da Harcum, o Germano é zagueiro, é freshman, primeiro ano, de Esteio é o nome da cidade, acredito que seja Minas Gerais, mas é isso, ele é o número... E aqui não tá com o número, acho que ele é o número 3 ou 5, a gente vai confirmar aqui certinho, mas é isso, família dele, se tiver alguém aqui na torcida, parabéns pelo sucesso do filho de vocês, parente, enfim... Amigo também, esse brasileiro que está representando agora na partida, então nossa torcida vai ficar para Harcum mesmo. Salt Lake é a equipe que classificou como a número 2 do país, então vai ser partida dura, mas como eu falei na outra transmissão, a Harcum eliminou a atual campeã nacional, que é a Monroe. Então, eliminar time grande, a Harcum está bem qualificada para isso. Então vou soltar a transmissão aqui agora um pouco, até para ficar um pouco melhor para você assistirem.
And they're all purple uniforms. Salt Lake and they're all white. Bruins versus Bears. On the other side, Harcum's lineup looks like this. And the goal is Njcaa Diouf, sophomore from Senegal. Number 20, Max Schultz, and number 27, Oscar Tenorio. There's your starting line. Harcum with the ball now. You know, it's funny a lot of times, and I'm just he's actually came into this contest number 2.
Travou no que eu fui mudar, já teve gol. Salt Lake, o golaço, foi de cobertura, vai mostrar aí no replay. 1-0 Salt Lake, então, infelizmente, de novo, outro gol início da partida e agora vão ter que correr atrás.
And that's just a great shot too.
He just floats it in. I mean, and it was going upper shelf on that opportunity, and man, Owasu just strikes early. I mean, we're in the first 2 minutes of the match.
Boa, e o Carlos falou, então é isso, o Germano é do Rio Grande do Sul. Realmente, até o Arthur, que era atleta também da Next jogou com ele lá, o Arthur fez a assessoria com a gente e hoje está na Patrick Henry. Então é isso, eles devem ter jogado juntos por lá. Então é isso, tomou o gol aí com 3 minutos de jogo, 2 minutos, né, até na verdade, mas correr atrás agora para tentar virar, porque de novo, gol início da partida, com vento contra também, eles estão jogando contra o vento, igual eu falei, que está sendo sempre para a direita aqui, mas vamos ver, isso aí não significa muito da partida, porque realmente foi o goleiro saiu errado, a bola sobrou no cara, o cara deu uma cavada de cobertura, mas é isso, 1-0 Salt Lake contra Harcum.
Yeah, they lost to the 11 seed, wasn't it? It was Coastal Bend. So, interesting that you see that unfold with an upset like that. Actually, the D2 side, the 11 seed, actually beat the 2 seed as well on pool play, but it was the 2 seed advancing, just like in the D1.
Same script, and both of them, at least in that pool. Now, the real question is going to be, because the quality of defense that Salt Lake plays, again, they coming into the tournament had 11 shutouts. I believe that's the same number as Iowa Western in the early tournament.
Iowa Western had 13, I think. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Oh, that's kind of the two from the tournament. Anyway, so Salt Lake hasn't pitched a shutout in the tournament.
I guess 14 now, Iowa Western.
Good point, yes. So they got 14, so second in the nation. Is Salt Lake is 11. So their defense isn't nothing to sneeze at, and that's going to be a real challenge, I think, for Harcum today, is getting their offense rolling, and particularly, they are first and assist, second goals. They're more of an offense. I would say more of an offensive base team.
Yeah, I mean, looking at 69 goals for Harcum and then 65 assists too. So obviously they facilitate the offense very well, getting the teammates set up. Assist to goal ratio basically almost 1-to-1.
Right. But yeah, there's Salt Lake yet again with a good opportunity. She tries to get it in. It's taken back out by Harcum. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Again, obviously, there's not going to be any surprise for anybody facing Harcum that they're going to try to get the ball to Kingsford.
Yeah, I was interested when you were talking about Kingsford stats. I wanted to do some math real quick. He has accounted for about 50% of the goals scored. Either he scored them or assisted on it. In some way, he's been a piece of it. Almost about 50% of the offensive goals scored this year for Harcum.
He is their key player, and a lot of times, even when they're playing defensive keep aways, they ended up a fair amount with the Texas Western. He's still the one. He still stays at midfield, waiting for some kind of opportunity, some kind of kick out. Just make something happen, 1-on-1 style, or 1-on-2, 1-on-3. Doesn't really matter to him. Here's Harcum right there. There's Kingsford right in the middle right there. That's fighting for the ball. Is actually Lucas Ashley, the freshman from Santiago Domingo.
Looks like Salt Lake's got some fans here in attendance. The teams maybe that with more fans than the others, but their women's team, by the way, was in action in Georgia and made the semifinals and then made the championship. Unfortunately, they lost in the championship to Tyler, but made the championship matchups.
That also brings up an interesting point as well. One of the challenges sometimes with scheduling is Harcum can get the ball back to Joe to reset their offense. Is Salt Lake's coach in his 5th season is Mark Davis. He is also the head women's coach, and normally there's no issue. There's no scheduling conflicts, but because of the delayed nature of our championships here this spring, ended up he had to split time between here and the women's finals, trying to be 2 places at once. Quite the challenge, but it's worked out pretty well. They getting to the finals is impressive on the women's side, and here vying for a chance with a 1-0 lead at the 38-40 mark and counting in the first half. So Salt Lake off to a good start here.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive to get both programs to nationals, let alone you can at least say both were in the Final Four. Potentially both could be in the championship.
It's really impressive. In fact, I believe the win for Salt Lake against Spartan took place while he was with the women's team.
I think so, yeah.
So you feel good as a head coach. You left your program in good hands.
Para quem tá entendendo o que eles estão falando, uma curiosidade bem legal. Salt Lake, o time feminino, chegou na final dos nacionais, que foi ontem ou hoje, se não me engano, e perdeu da Tyler. Só que o ponto que eles estavam explicando é que o head coach, que é do time masculino, é o mesmo do time feminino, então ele não estava aí nessa partida, não sei se ele conseguiu chegar ou não. E ele chegou com um time na final do feminino, dos nacionais, e até, por enquanto, com 1-0, tá chegando com o time masculino. Então, o mesmo coach vai chegar em 2 finais se a Salt Lake chegar nessa final. Então, curiosidade interessante. E em Junior College é mais comum do que em faculdade NCAA e NAIA, do mesmo treinador ser das 2 equipes, mas isso acontece. Até NAIA e o goleiro pegou ainda bem. Mas até na NCAA isso às vezes acontece. E normalmente não tem esse conflito. Os Nationals são em datas diferentes, as partidas são em datas diferentes, mas por causa do corona acabou que os Nationals ficaram na mesma data e em cidades diferentes, né? O masculino está sendo no Kansas e o feminino foi em outro lugar. Então, se chegar na final, ele deve chegar ainda para o jogo da Salt Lake para a final e dessa vez tentar ganhar, porque eles perderam a final no feminino para Tyler.
And you're right about the fans. I don't know what that is. I'd say as far as the Division I side goes, Barton from Great Bend, Kansas, had the most fans here, followed by Salt Lake and Snow. Actually, good setup here. Here's working Salt Lake. He's got an opening. Shot is deflected. Rebound, bouncing around still somehow, some way. I'm not sure how that ball hasn't gone in yet.
Wow.
Nice defense by Harcum. Ends up.
That was about as scatterbrained as you could think in the whole situation of the ball bouncing everywhere. And it looked like Drop was going to be able to pick it up after maybe the first try, but he couldn't hold on, and it led to 2 more opportunities.
To paraphrase an old Clint Eastwood movie, every which way but in. And we're gonna have a first corner kick of the game. Still was a nice shot by, and we saw what happens when your defensemen don't help out enough early on. As that corner booted back towards the middle by the Bears defense. Great assist by the defenseman for the Bears. Joe, they had his back. It worked out well. But opportunity not taken advantage of for the Bruins.
Yeah, he makes 2 saves himself, and then one of his defensemen helps out on the third opportunity in that whole sequence of events. But I mean, sprayed 3 shots right in there, 5 shots overall. Salt Lake has at the goal already. So.
Aggressive in the early going, probably most likely aggressive all day. But closing in on 10 minutes into the first half. Here's 1-0 Salt Lake. Again, both squads looking to join Iowa Western in the finals tomorrow. Western 1 seed. They will be in their home white uniforms.
E galera, que eu comentei também no primeiro jogo, agora lá são 8h15 da noite e ainda tá sol, vocês estão vendo, o verão lá realmente é assim, deve começar a escurecer lá por volta das 9 e pouco da noite.
In fact, there, as a player, I was going to point out for Harcum, actually, Joe Peters, number 16, Harcum, the defenseman, he was one of the key components in their win on Monday night. He's one of those tall, lanky defensemen that's just hard to get up and around. He was proved vital for the Bears to get that win on Monday night. We got 2 players down right now. I see number 27 for Harcum. That's Oscar Tenorio.
And Omar Gomez on Salt Lake is down as well. I'm wondering if they collided heads, because both are kind of grasping around.
It looks pretty close to it. We saw a replay of the play right there.
That's tough.
There it is again right there. That's. Let me put a little slow motion. It doesn't look that bad, but I bet that doesn't feel good.
No.
No helmets in this one. That's they're both dazed. Hopefully that's all it is. One player, at least one of them up. Looks like we're gonna take an impromptu water break. I'll take this opportunity to remind you all that you can follow all of the action of the 2021 Njcaa National Championships live on the Njcaa Network. Go to www.njcaatv.com, which you may already be at, to view live and archived broadcasts of all the Njcaa national tournaments. The Njcaa Network is also available on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Android TV streaming platforms.
I got a thumbs up, I'm assuming, from who is the Salt Lake coach over towards the sideline. So I'm assuming maybe Gomez's family might be here.
He is moving. He is now sitting up.
And of course, for Harcum, Oscar Tenorio, he was able to walk off all right, and he's still headed towards the bench at the moment. But
it's one of those things you really hate to see, the head injuries. Assuming they're head injuries. Just because someone gets hit in the head doesn't mean necessarily concussion by default. Obviously, they'll both go through some level of concussion protocol if they were head injuries. We'll decide if they come back in the game. No longer do we live in an era of the rub some dirt on it on any sport.
No.
Which is for the best. Long-term player safety is always important.
No doubt. The importance and health of everyone is at the forefront of those situations.
No matter how much a teenager or a young 20-something thinks that they want to get back in there, take a little time, make sure that they're actually okay before sending them back
Number
in.
4, Bo Lando in the game.
A couple substitutions for the at least temporarily dinged up players. Salt Lake will kick the ball from here. Okiyoshi to kick. Up and away. Header and off, well off to the right. I thought that was going to be a little bit closer. Trick of the angle there. Bounces harmlessly out of bounds. Put back in play by Diop.
Well, and I know for Harcum, losing Tenorio might be a little tough, but I know he's not one of the top goal scorers, but he scored 2 here at Nationals. So
he has had a nice tournament. And also, the Harcum bench isn't as deep as Salt Lake's in any way.
True.
So
smaller roster.
Mm-hmm. Losing one off a smaller roster is a little more painful. Again, we'll see if one or both of them can come back in later on. Right now, the Bears aiming towards the far side. That pass deflected. I got a run for the ball. I believe that's Johnson. It is Levante Johnson in the corner. Working back towards the middle. He's got a little bit of an opening, little window work there. Shot no good. Rebound kick. No, then cleared out. Yet again, Salt Lake getting a lot of opportunities here in the early going. They still have the ball. There's Vincent Crowley. Way down there is Kingsford, ahead of his teammates. Again, they generally try to feed him as quickly as they can, get that offense rolling. We've seen some players take a position like those offensive players do that to try to harass the defenseman. That's not generally what Kingsford does. He does some, but not his main role down there. Bruins working the ball on the far sideline. I would say taken away, then taken right back. And so we will having Harcum coming in as the 5th seed. They are still undefeated, so surely that does mean something.
You know, even though Salt Lake lost that match to Coastal Bend, they outshot them 18-7. I saw, and so that's a statistic there. And then a 3-1 win against Barton definitely suggests an offensive mindset, and that's been on display so far in what we've seen in their display at this juncture as well. I mean, 16.3 shots per game, and 64 goals. Pretty good for the Bruins, and they have been in control, I guess, of this contest so far.
They get on average 4 goals per contest, but don't score as much as Harcum does. Again, that's I don't read too much into and there's nothing in front of me that screams strength of schedule or anything like that. But,
True. Yeah.
Just kind of get the feeling, particularly Harcum not being ranked a whole lot, even though they are defeated. Obviously those who are in charge of rankings like that, obviously think put more value in Salt Lake's strength of schedule. But of course, also this year scheduling has been a challenge for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference right here, and when they come into the tournament, just a number of games. On the far side, a little back and forth. I believe there'll be a throw in for the Bruins. Indeed, it is. We got to look at Jacob Contreras throw in. Looking down the sideline. Here's where he goes with it, trying to get the ball to Johnson over there. Just like that, it goes back to the Bears right in midfield. We'll try to work towards the Salt Lake goal. Thoroughly untested so far is Christian Olivares. Goalie down there in the, I guess I'd call it bright green, maybe yellow, neon, one way or the other.
Highlighter yellow.
There we go. I like that. Yes. He's down there. Had nothing to do so far. Hasn't been a shot attempt yet against him. We're coming up on the 30-minute mark exactly. That will be when we take our first break. Reset the offense. Through the goal, a little contact after the pass is away. I would think the key thing is going to be for Harcum is if they're going to get the offense going, it actually probably can't go through Kingsford. At least start that way. I think you're going to have to work the way that way too. And because you know the Salt Lake defense is,
Yeah,
they're always keep note of him wherever he is.
I wonder at a certain point, and I'll keep an eye on it as we go. The water break coming now, but I wonder if they'll mark, Kingsford and have one set defender kind of, anchor and watch him. So I'll kind of watch that as we keep going. But yeah, 6-0 on the shots so far, and all 6 shots were on goal too for Salt Lake. I mean, they sprayed 3 in one sequence, but they've had some early opportunities and obviously paid dividends in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's and if you saw Kingsford's body language there coming down, he was frustrated with his teammates there. He thought he, and it's one of those things that I don't think they want to force it to him just to turn the ball over, but he thought he should have gotten the ball there. And since his frustration from up here, in the meantime, let's remind you all about all the great championship merchandise that's out there. Order your official 2021 NJCAA Division I Men's Soccer Championship merchandise online at the NJCAA store. Visit shop.njcaa.org to view exclusive national championship and other NJCAA merchandise. For your first order, you can receive 10% off using the promo code WELCOME10. And all orders over $75 receive free shipping. Combine those two things, you may get maybe go ahead and buy someone their Christmas gift, check something off the list before the year's even half over, or maybe a birthday gift, or maybe just because. Anyway, visit shop.njcaa.org and order your official championship gear today.
Always really cool to see those shirts with all the rosters on it and the commemorative capacity there to remember your trip to the national tournament.
It's been fun to see between games, particularly when the team comes here, gets a win, or when they've won their pool, see them all lined up outside the tent, getting their commemorative gear.
Yeah, just to get to the national tournament is an experience in itself. I mean, that doesn't obviously happen for a lot of teams and a lot of players. I mean, no matter what the collegiate level is, on a regular basis. So to cherish that opportunity is huge, and then let alone be able to be one of the Final Four teams or get a chance to play for a national championship.
Number 27, Oscar Tenorio.
Tenorio checks back in, so he's cleared. I believe we've seen. Who was with him? Anyway, we haven't seen them back in. We shall see. But
Gomez for the other side for Salt Lake.
You mentioned it's not every year you get to the tournament, let alone make the semifinals. Of note, both these teams with their first tournament appearance. If we're easy, anyone would be able to do it, right?
Yes, exactly.
Rebolledo in the corner.
Yeah, so I mean, we could see tomorrow for both sides of the championships, a team win their first championship in school history, in their program history.
So bouncing around, no one really getting control of it. Tenorio gets it up and Turn to sender. Peters showing off his length with that header. Looks like Salt Lake's going to control it. They're going to try the near side to set up this attack. Loses his footing. That's Samuel Owusu. Scored the goal earlier. Loses his footing on the near sideline, so Harcum gives it, trying the other side. A little quiet moment here. There the ball. They're again trying. They go deep to Kingsford, and it's kicked away from him. Nice defensive work. Azrael Johnson, the sophomore from Malawi. Gets it out, and Owusu ends up with it yet again.
We're talking about the different countries. Malawi, a different one that's on the map.
A couple of new ones here, and they get. I think our only representative from Senegal is in goal for the Bears.
Yeah.
Like Patience Johnson with the ball. Johnson does have some speed. He gets around Peters. Andy Brownham, he does. Still fighting though. Oh. Too much fun. That's Tenorio.
Tough break right there. But
set up the kick. Pretty good distance away from goal though, so shouldn't feel too bad with this one. There's a little two-man wall set up in front of him.
And the 27th player in the first half.
If you need it. Kick is away. Kick is easily fielded by Joe. Joe with a couple of saves. That is another shot attempt for Salt Lake. Still looking for their first one. Are the Bears. Ball goes out of bounds, but we'll stay with Harcum.
I give Salt Lake a lot of credit. Obviously, they have the one goal already, but I mean, their 7 shots have all been on goal. I mean, they have been pinpoint accurate as far as making jump have to work back there.
Maybe a long day for him if the first 20 minutes is any indication. I think that his offense can't get anything going. This is a Salt Lake squad that's just going to keep coming at him. Kind of like what we saw with the first game. Again, Iowa Western won 3-0, and they just kind of more than anything else kind of ground down Iowa Lakes. And just kept coming until eventually found some openings. Would have been a very, very good Iowa Lakes defense.
Yes, yeah, and Iowa Lakes, I think, just wore down in that matchup, and the Reavers obviously got some more goals and pushed that out to be a bigger differential than it was for a majority of the match. But in here, I mean, Harcum has barely gotten into their attacking third.
I think that maybe one of the perils when you have one player that keys your offense so much, that means the defense can key on him as well. And if they're going to deny the Bears their main weapon as much as their defense so far, and really just play good defense in general, Harcum's going to need someone else to step up.
Yeah. And they're just going to have to be a little bit more aggressive to try to take the possession and just, maintain possession for a little bit of time, let alone, that I think you start with that and then you try to, you advance it up as much as possible in those sequences. But as much as they get it, they give it right back.
Right? That pass up the left side, can't get to it in time. No, he cannot, but it will be a corner kick.
Corner kick awarded to Salt Lake.
Was Jiba in pursuit? I know Peters was there, and there was another Bear defender right there with him. One of the two of them knocks it out.
Salt Lake leads the nation in corner opportunities.
Santiago Delfino, freshman from Cordova, Argentina, to take the kick. Set up the play, the kick's away. booted out of bounds by the Bears. So the fiercer Bear mascot will inbound against the less fierce Bear mascot.
Harcum bench was yelling goal kick, but I don't know where they really came up with that. I mean, it was clearly evident that it went off of them out of play.
If you yell something enough, it'll be true. Ball ends up back around midfield, but in control of Salt Lake. We're just going to try again. Owusu's tripped up, no whistle.
That was good defense by Lucas Ashley there.
I agree. It's kind of interesting. Of the two benches, certainly the Harcum bench seems to be the louder one. I'm not sure if just the coach or if it's players as well. Harcum with the ball near midfield. For a passing lane, get it to the right side, and eventually they find one. That's Nicholas Acuna. On the far side, gets over to Rebolledo. Fighting with Johnson. Giva wants to get it away. That's it. Harcum going to come down, get a hole down the middle. A little bit of room to operate, not much. That hole closed up quickly, but we will have a free kick from right there.
Those two players, I mean, the sandwich right into each other. I think two Harcum guys actually collided with each other.
Slowly getting up is Juan Ortiz, number 11. Look at it. You're right. It does look like that. That was just bear versus bear violence. No Bruins involved.
Yeah.
But yet, they're going to get the kick. Second player got up as well. No damage done. Salt Lake setting up their wall.
A huge first real big opportunity to look towards the goal here for Harcum.
7-man wall. Line to kick is Dino Rebolledo, the Colombian native. The Harcum
Salt
player.
Lake looks like they almost have the second tier of the wall. Now they bring them all up. I was like, they were kind of a little offset, or maybe, but
Staggered wall defense.
In the game for the Bears, number 4, Bo Lando.
No checks in. Oh, that was a near miss. Certainly the best look that Harcum's had all day. Another opportunity forthcoming. That header up and over, no good. So there's a couple opportunities. Look at the 20-minute, 30-second mark, give or take.
yeah, Rebeldo with that free kick off the post, and then Kingsford actually got the opportunity.
Contact.
Fala, galera, eu tô tentando arrumar aqui, que deu algum problema no próprio site deles. Espera aí que eu vou fechar e vou abrir de novo. Foi.
For the Bears, at least, they were hoping for that, but not the case.
Which would have been a big break for the Bears.
PKs have not been a foreign thing today.
No.
We've seen 3 of them.
I'm trying to get it when they're dribbling.
We've had whole days in the tournament. 8 games without
True.
them. And have 3 today. I haven't seen one
Coming
lately, I
into the
guess.
game for Salt Lake, number 16.
Hopefully it's not the announcer jinx
Brandon.
or
Cervantes.
I haven't seen one in a while. Then 30 seconds later we get one.
I can see your feet.
We take a look at Blaine Chambers to inbound for Salt Lake. Kicked across, trying to be aggressive with it. But it ends up with Harcum. Though back would go the other way. Salt Lake with a little bit of advantage when the defender falls down. Trying to make a move over there is number 4, Jacob Contreras. Sophomore from Tucson. Jocelyn, well, some discussion whose ball it is. They say it is Harcum ball.
And I think it was actually because it was picked up by Contreras when it was still technically in the field of play. So more a handball, particularly in that spot.
That's I guess it's one way to guarantee the other team gets it.
Yeah.
Trying to set up their offense. They're half of the field. Advance the ball, rotating it over to the near side. Actually, gets it up to Ortiz. Ortiz crosses the midline. Ball with Kingsford. Kingsford passes it to the right side. A good opportunity here. Pass back to the middle. Pass taken away. Feels like maybe there's somewhere else to go with that ball if you were a Harcum fan. Or just good defense. Combination of the two. At any rate, Bruins with the ball now. Set up. Back to left.
And we work under 17 minutes left here in the first half.
That pass. Exactly sure where he intended that to go.
I got tripped up, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that played a factor into it.
Fair enough. Harcum with the kick. Looks to be Jorge Fernandez. Right there with Rubiego. Surveys the field. That kick easily booted back out. Delfino sends it to midfield. It remains with the Bears. Bears are coming, trying something going on the right side. Really only one possession of the Bears worth talking about today so far.
Yes, yeah.
30 minutes into the contest. A lot more Salt Lake. I had Harcum's found a little bit of something to work with here as we watched. It's Kingsford trying to go one on everybody pretty much.
And he shouldn't be surprised that multiple defenders will come his way when he has any touch.
Near turnover by Njcaa. Salt Lake maintains possession now on the near sideline. A little bit of pushing and shoving. There's a little more pushing and shoving. That was a nice. Oh, you can't pretend to be innocent for that.
Unfortunately, Oscar Tenorio is going to get a yellow card there. I mean, he almost body check, basically a body check.
I've seen middle linebackers that hit that hard. That was then to pertain to feign innocence afterwards is probably my favorite part of the entire exchange.
For the Bears, number 4, Bo Lando.
Yeah, that was a tough hit, nonetheless.
I'm surprised we're taking out of the water break here, but we soldier on regardless.
I guess maybe the best way to put it, a big knock is what Salt Lake took right there.
Hey, there Salt Lake sprung back up. There's a great attempt, header attempt. Great pass, great finish. Is that Delfino with the finish? But that was just a great pass, perfect placement for the header. No, that is Paul Rishnow, number 3, finishing that off, of taking the great pass finish. And there's a look at Geoff. Geoff is not happy.
Yeah.
There was not much he could do there, though.
No, not much you could do at all. Here it is again.
Outro gol, 2-0 Salt
Perfect
Lake.
placement.
O zagueiro veio por trás ali, acho que foi até o número 16 ali que deu a mole, o lateral direito, né? Ele veio por trás,
So, Okioshi with
subiu
the free
sozinho
kick,
e
as
cabeceou
said,
para
that's the
baixo,
redirected
clássico
there by
de
Rich now.
de
Zealand
finalização de
product.
cabeça. Agora eles vão ter
It's
até
2-0
outra
now,
parada
Salt Lake,
para
in the
hidratação, né,
driver's
para
seat.
água.
We've got the water
E aí aquilo que eu falei, agora já
now,
são 8h40, quase 9 horas da noite, e o sol segue lá normalmente. Não tá nem pôr do sol ainda. Então é isso, o verão lá realmente muda bastante essa parte de pôr do sol, horários. Então é legal que vocês se acostumem também. Em compensação, inverno, pelo menos na minha faculdade, que era um pouco mais para o norte, quanto mais para o norte tem mais essa diferença. Mas no inverno dava, sei lá, 4 horas da tarde, já estava escuro de tudo preto. Então, diferenças do hemisfério norte. Mas agora, verão, então, até 9 e pouco da noite ainda tem sol por lá.
Yeah, I mean, all results for any junior college sport are right there on the website. And stats have to be inputted as well for games, rankings throughout the course of the year. They do Player of the Week honors during the National Player of the Week honors for every sport. So lots of great content.
And again, even like, let's say you're watching this right here. Maybe you have 2 computers. You could also be watching live stats for this game, just like we're doing here.
Yes. Yeah, 8 shots, all on goal for Salt Lake. 2 shots, technically not on goal for Harcum. They went off the post, and I like to explain, I guess, the best way I was told when we talk about shots on goal. They have to be like in the net portion of the goal is basically more or less what the shot on goal would be like. If the goalie was not there, would it have gone in? So the fact that they hit the post, not necessarily going to go in. But if the goalie wasn't there, would it go in? And if that's the case, you say yes, that's a shot on goal.
Very good definition. One even I can remember. Get ready to get play back underway here for the final 15 minutes of the first half. Salt Lake now with a 2-0 lead. And, if you're the Bears, you need to be careful right now. You need to get something going.
Yeah, because their 2 shots came in one sequence. I mean, they were both right and short range opportunities together. So.
You don't want to dig too big of a hole, and let's be honest, 2-0 isn't that big of a hole yet. There's enough time left, but the way the Harcum offense is playing, it kind of feels like that.
Yeah, it can be when you don't get a lot of offensive opportunities.
Working it down now. There's ends up on the right side. Lando passes off. And they're going to rotate back to the center. Peters with it now, right at the midfield line. So back down the right side. Contact. Contact's not what's called, though. Just out of bounds. Or a throw in for Harcum.
I think they're going to set it up for the free kick.
They are getting the kick. Okay, well, I thought there was no contact there. I thought they would. But all right, yes. So the free kick gets me take my land out. Just kicks it back. Now they're attacking from the right side. A little bit of an opening right there. That pass too far. Peters with the attempt. Can't get it to go down. And the ball just taken away from him, though. It kicked back into an area where Harcum can get it. And they did, they do. Pass to Landau. Landau can give to Kingsford.
E gol que não pode perder, né? Harcum já teve 2 bolas na trave e esse gol, sei lá, bola meio da área ali, ninguém finalizou, mas relativamente em cima do goleiro. Mas, de novo, quem tá vendo esse 2-0 não tá tão sob controle para Salt Lake. Harcum, quando chega sempre perigoso, mas com esses moles ali na defesa, tá 2-0, mas também a Salt Lake tem atacado mais. O comentarista estava até falando. Salt Lake teve 8 chutes e 8 chutes no gol. Não chutaram nenhuma bola para fora ainda. A Harcum teve 2 chutes, ele até falou, bola na trave, a gente não conta chute ao gol. Mas enfim, lógico que foi chute ao gol, 2 bolas na trave. E agora uma defesa do goleiro quase a queima-roupa e, de novo, quarta chance clara, entre aspas, para Harcum e até agora nada.
Salt Lake player gets the worst part of a collision as he's trying to clear the ball out.
Yeah, there's a weird sequence of events all right there. The shot, the save, the questionable sequence where it could have maybe been a handball, and I'm not gonna say it was, but like, and then Salt Lake player going down, yellow card flying out.
Oscar Tamarillo.
I don't know who got that yellow card. It looks like Joe Peters actually.
Quick scan of the field sees that Peters is no longer out there and Sonora checking in, so that does follow. That tracks.
That's the second yellow card on the Bears.
Reaching out a kick. Sends it deep. Johnson can't get through Tenorio to get to it though. Look for Joe to put it back in play.
And all of a sudden, Harcum has 4 shots, 2 on goal now. And they, like you said, Jeff, they picked up the aggressive nature for themselves. And I mean,
they needed it too. They for an awfully long time there in the first half without even a shot. It seemed like, whether on goal or not, nothing doing on their offensive side. Now Salt Lake though not content with 2-0 lead. Nice defensive play though. Kuna kicks it away from Johnson. And here come the Bears.
Still ample time here in the first half as well. I mean, about 11 and a half minutes.
A lot of discussion about. So look at a replay there. Pretty sure Lane Chambers know that he there's a little too much contact there for Salt Lake. Can't really go through the play. I've seen a few players here among various squads that have players I wouldn't try to go through in any sport. Tenorio being one of those.
Yeah. He looks like a pretty tough guy out there.
It's also one of those times that works against you, though, in a sport like this, where if there's a little bit of contact, player can emote a fair amount, and their officials can be likely to buy it because it's like hit by someone like that.
Back in the game for Harcum, number 16, Joe Peters.
Peters checks back in.
And for the Bruins, number 20, Jonathan Castro.
Peters had some time to think about what he did. Sure took the time reflecting. Man, that was a bad call.
You might think so, yes.
Well, yes. Always. There's Peters again right there in the middle of the action, though.
It's about 10 minutes left to go here before intermission. If Harcum could net themselves a goal, you got to feel a little bit more comfortable being maybe only down by 1 headed into intermission.
Looks like a little ball play for a second there. That's Chambers. Chambers gets it knocked away from him, though. Still fighting for the ball in the corner. That is out of bounds. Will be a throw for Salt Lake.
I thought it went off of Salt Lake there.
I did as well, actually, but the official did not. Well, they're a lot closer than we are. Lucy over there gets the ball. Johnson charging hard, can't get to it though. Joe with the grab. Bears will try to get something going here. A little spurt there. Harcum had a little bit of momentum. I think after that second goal was scored, we'll see if they can keep that up here. That's not the way to get it done, though.
That pass was telegraphed way too much. I mean, easily read by that Salt Lake back line. One
of those things it's hard to get away with against a good team. probably hard to get away with against a bad team, really, too.
Yeah, I mean, if you're pretty blatant with your movements, I mean, that can be good sometimes, but you have to at least try to find the angles that you can work around. But, good team with good defense is going to be able to read it pretty well. That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Might look like an open window 1 second. Those windows can close pretty quickly. Good teams, quick teams. Salt Lake certainly qualifies as both of those things. Reset towards the middle now. Kind of near side, kind of not. That's who we want. Ortiz. Ortiz puts it back towards the middle.
Now, Harcum obviously can ill afford surrendering another goal, being down 3-0 headed into halftime. But ideally, you would say that Harcum gets a goal themselves and goes only down at least 2-1, if not maybe net 2 somehow, and get it tied. But
I think the most realistic chance will be getting one.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to get one first before you can get to 2. So.
Oh, now we're seeing some aggressiveness out of Kingsford, trying to harass the back line. That ball is sent packing, although Johnson gets a little fortunate break right there. He's on the left side. A couple guys to beat. Lets it go out of bounds, get the corner kick.
Wise decision, too. He had nobody else with him, and he had no angle really at the goal, too, where the ball was going. So
he knew Peters would touch it, so he just let it go and help string Peters away from it so he couldn't save it. It'll be corner. Taking the corner will be rough. No, that's Santiago Delfino. Set piece right there. Ball kicked out of bounds. Should be corner on this side.
Quarter kick, Salt Lake.
Acuna looked like he kind of, that was a half-hearted kick at that. It's like, I'm hitting it. Oh, it's going to be another corner.
Yeah, he would have been better served, obviously, to back away. I mean, I understand trying to make the contact, but.
And maybe that was the other thought. Like, he halfway started doing it, and then he didn't want to. And there's a kick, and there's that. Oh, right off of the top. Oh, crossbar deflected it down. And Joe had enough time to regroup and get it.
That was amazing that did not go in.
I feel like we've seen a couple of those here today already that been looked like they're going to go in and just bounce out.
I mean, that hit the bottom of the crossbar, so it went downward. And I mean, one bounce spin, it could have just spun right in.
Exactly. He's trying to make something happen. Ball doesn't go out of bounds though. Oh, body language from the Harcum players. They all were expecting that thing to go out of bounds. It did not. However, that pass attempt does. That would be Bears ball right at midfield. Although it looks like he's advancing whichever way he wants to.
Just about a handful of minutes left to go here in the first half.
The clock you're seeing is looks to be within 5 seconds of the game clock. One of the courts, one of the guideline, what you see at home. Salt Lake with the ball now. Looking to add to their 2-0 advantage in the waning minutes of the first half. They rotate the ball around to the near side. Pass up to Chambers. Chambers back to Okiyoshi. The players communicating well with each other on both sides. Can't really make it out up here. I'm not sure it's in English, doesn't really matter. But it's not for me to understand, it's for them to understand, although some are reminded of the anecdote about the.
Pergunta boa do Ismael. É diferente da NCAA para quem estava acompanhando com a gente os Nationals deles. Junior College não tem restrição nenhuma de substituição. Pode sair, voltar no primeiro, no segundo tempo. É realmente totalmente livre. Eu expliquei várias vezes a regra da NCAA sobre sair e voltar. No primeiro e no segundo tempo é diferente. Na D1, você só pode parar 5 vezes o jogo para fazer as substituições, enfim, dependendo de quantos atletas você vai trocar. Mas Junior College não, você pode sair, entrar no mesmo tempo, no primeiro e no segundo tempo. O único ponto é que tem que parar o relógio sempre que tem uma substituição. Essa é a regra da Junior College, que é diferente da NCAA. Beleza?
Two sequences that you can chop out of the first half that saw the two shot opportunities each time for Harcum thus far.
Bruins now with it.
Otherwise, it's been a relative struggle for the Bears to even get into the attacking third of the field.
And again, as soon as we say that, they failed to do so right there. Bruins do have it. Not in a big hurry to get anything done. There's still 3 minutes left in the first half. Work the ball through Oliveras. Feels like they almost really so like trying to bait Harcum into putting themselves in a bad position right here by just being patient, because they know Harcum needs something to happen more than they do. That's a nice defensive play though. Juan Ortiz, nice slide kick. Another slide tackle right there. Tackle that time. Knocked the ball away. Harcum still with the ball though. Owusu's little rattle for the second. He's fine now. On the other side, Rubieto is slow to get up, so
he was definitely not happy about that sequence of events. That was a few words exchanged.
Now under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Salt Lake with the ball again. And again, Harcum struggling to get the play. They got to midfield, and then next thing you know, Salt Lake has it again. Looks like Chambers was trying to send it deep for a second, and instead it was just a fake out. It seems like Salt Lake is content to wait for a little bit. They're going to inch this ball forward. Now they're going to take their shot deep. They got Owusu over here on the right side. Owusu with the ball, looking to get past one. He does, but Peters, a nice interception.
Owusu had to peel back a little bit just to maintain his onside, and then he was still able to make that play. But like Peters made a really good defensive play on the backside there for Harcum, though.
There you go. This is
1 minute.
Salt Lake still with the ball. Trying to get at least one more good look at the goal before the half ends.
Under a minute to play.
As pleased as they might be by being up 2-0. First time up 2-0 in the tournament, actually. Not in great position to get anything done right here. Oh, I hadn't seen him. There's a Salt Lake player down right here on the near sideline. Clock is stopped with 24.6 showing.
I wondered if they were going to stop it. I mean, he was down, Chambers that is, here on the near touch line, but the whole time he was down, his team had possession. So
and trainer makes her way over there. By the time she gets over there, Chambers is up. So still discussing things. While they discuss things, I'll remind you that Bob McCloskey Insurance is proud to be the official athletic insurance provider of the NJCAA and provide the coverage for NJCAA student athletes to be protected on the field or court. Bob McCloskey Insurance, we've got you covered. We, up here in the booth, have you guys covered for the next 24.6 of this first half. Final semifinal action here in Wichita. NJCAA Division I, Division II men's soccer championships.
yep, we take 4 down to 2.
In the game for the
There we go.
Brewers, number 17.
That kick deep, trying to
Jason Chavez.
try to lead Phillip, but easily headed away. Harcum looking to make something happen in the final seconds right there. get the ball to Kingsford. If they're going to get something to happen, that would be the way to do it.
7,
There's a
6,
corner kick.
5,
Will they have time to get it
4,
off?
3,
They do.
2,
Headed out of the way.
1.
Nothing comes of
0.
it.
Time.
Well, that was an
Your
eventful
score
first half, but
Bruins 2,
Salt Lake
Bears 0.
Community College Bruins take the 2-0 lead over Harcum College Bears.
Aí, galera, todo jogo eu explico um pouco
Yeah,
sobre
tough
isso
break there up
de
to the
relógio
corner.
acabar. Agora
You don't
teve uma
have plenty of
aplicação
time,
na
so
prática,
no
né?
Harcum
Tava
guys
faltando
really
ali
get
5
up
segundos, não
to
tinha ninguém quase na área do time dele, só que ele tinha que bater. Ele bateu de qualquer jeito ali pra área. Deixar rolando aqui o intervalo, depois a gente volta, mostrando os gols, né? As bolas na trave da Harcum, enfim.
Opportunities, obviously, with the goal in the first 2 minutes of the match by Owasu, and then they got the goal in the 31st minute as well to net that on the header. But great play by Salt Lake. They really controlled the first half, in my opinion, and have been the aggressor and have Harcum on their heels. Harcum's going to have to come out aggressive in the second half to try to come back in this ballgame.
I agree all the way around. I would say a short version of Salt Lake is playing the number 2 seed. More than I expect to see them. I didn't see them the first day of pool play, but they're definitely playing like it now. But we'll take a break for halftime. We'll be back as well in 15 minutes or so. You are watching the NJCAA Division I Men's Soccer Championship on the NJCAA Network.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Over 30 majors in 4 divisions.
Nursing, education, criminal justice,
exercise science. This is one of the very few schools to honor leadership with scholarship.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Over 30 majors in 4 divisions.
Nursing, education, criminal justice,
exercise science. This is one of the very few schools to honor leadership with scholarship.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Over 30 majors in 4 divisions.
Nursing, education, criminal justice.
Exercise science. This is one of the very few schools to honor leadership with scholarship.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Over 30 majors in 4 divisions.
Nursing, education, criminal justice.
Exercise science. This is one of the very few schools to honor leadership with scholarship.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Over 30 majors in 4 divisions.
Nursing, education, criminal justice.
Exercise science. This is one of the very few schools to honor leadership with scholarship.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Over 30 majors in 4 divisions.
Nursing, education, criminal justice.
Exercise science. This is one of the very few schools to honor leadership with scholarship.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Over 30 majors in 4 divisions.
Nursing, education, criminal justice.
Exercise science. This is one of the very few schools to honor leadership with scholarship.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
All right, welcome back to Stryker Sports Complex. This is a great shot of the sunset. There's the sun going down during our last game of 4, the Semifinals, Division II early on in the day, Division I now. Iowa Western booked their
Vocês viram o que eu falei, né? Tá começando o pôr do sol por lá por agora. São 9h15 da noite, horário de lá. Mas é isso, começando o segundo tempo, 2-0 Salt Lake, eles ainda não botaram o placar ali em cima, se alguém chegou agora. A Harcum já teve 2 bolas na trave, gol perdido dentro da área, 2 gols bem perdidos dentro da área, cara a cara com o goleiro, então a gente continua torcendo. A Harcum, para quem também chegou por agora, tem o zagueiro Germano, que é brasileiro, então, já? Não deixaram nem eu terminar de fazer a introdução. 3-0 Salt Lake com outro gol com 1 minuto de jogo. Para quem perdeu também no primeiro tempo, Salt Lake abriu o placar com 1 minuto de jogo. Agora no segundo tempo é isso. Tem que estar ligado toda hora. 2 entradas de tempo desatentos da Harcum, 3-0 e agora vai ser difícil correr atrás. Mas é isso, ainda tem o segundo tempo inteiro para jogar e vamos acompanhar por aqui. Mas é isso, 1 minuto de jogo. Salt Lake, ao menos de 1 minuto agora, 40 segundos, 36 segundos eles estão falando. Então 36 segundos de jogo e outro gol da Salt Lake.
Yeah, that's their 10th shot and 9th on goal and obviously 3rd goal. But Harcum real quick, 4 shots, 2 on goal and 5 saves in 1 corner in the first half, 4 fouls. But yeah, I mean, Salt Lake just basically putting this one right in their, the wheelhouse, offensive opportunity, and boom, strike like that again.
I say they came in the number 2 seed in the tournament, number 2 in national polls as well, and they are looking to be in good shape to join Iowa Western in the finals tomorrow. They were looking good before that, but that's.
I mean, we're on the precipice of obviously 1 versus 2 on the D1 side, for the championship. I mean, and that's huge. I mean, you talk about Salt Lake, top 5 all year, in the rankings, and number 2 for the last 3 weeks or so, and obviously earned the 2 seed. And then Iowa Western obviously has been top 2 or all year themselves, and
it almost feels like the preordained path, if you will, the 2 juggernauts, and Iowa Western get to give a goal in the tournament. Salt Lake, disappointing early, but they have played better each game out. This game so far, yet to give up a goal.
When they now have 6 goals here in the tournament.
Yes, they've had better offensive performances than Iowa Western has.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I guess Iowa Western did eventually score more today. But
yeah, Iowa Western did eventually get 3 goals, but they only have 5 overall because they have 1-0 victories in their pool play. But
took me a minute to remember. It wasn't all that long ago. We have seen a lot of soccer action in the last few days. Going back to pool play started on Saturday. Each of us had 4 games apiece with Kingsford trying to get something started. Jumpstart this Harcum offense one way or the other. He's had a very quiet day, as has really honestly most of the Harcum offense. I just keep rewinding that, looking up, and there they were. I looked down and was nowhere near there, and look up, and there, Bruins getting it done here. Bears will not go gentle in that good night, though. And there is a lot of time.
Well, I guarantee you, somewhere around here, there's Iowa Western Reavers watching this match.
Well, I was wondering at halftime. I did see a few Reavers shirts, so certainly.
Yes, there's some scouting happening, and I mean, and in Salt Lake, you're trying to make maybe make a statement, say, hey, look, we're not going to be somebody to push over. We know that you're good, Iowa Western, but hey, we're pretty good too.
That's exactly right. Again, what's even funnier is, or more of note, I guess, maybe more to me than anyone else, was that throughout pool play, I think there may have been 2 games decided by more than 1 goal in the Division I side, and now we get to the semifinals, and it's looking to be like the first one was a 2-goal game. This one 3. A lot of time left for the Bears to get something on the board, though. They have struggled with any kind of offensive consistency today. Anyway, they work it down to the right side. So there's a window there, and then it closes immediately. kind of been the story of the game. Well, the Salt Lake offense doing good work. The Salt Lake defense, I think, has been even more impressive. Thinking what was a high-scoring Harcum attack so far, holding them to nothing. 2 shots on goal through 50 minutes of play.
And Salt Lake has surrendered, I believe, only 7 goals on the year. So, they give up the 1, obviously, to Coastal and 1 to Barton, but they don't obviously surrender very many to their opponents throughout the course of the season.
Not doing bad for their first tournament appearance. Chris, to be fair, it's the same for both these squads.
You mentioned earlier about attendance-wise that, we talked about the Snow having some fans here. You said Snow had some fans as well. Oddly enough, they're both from Utah. So I was thinking, I guess Utah travels well.
Maybe either cheap flights or they don't want to make the drive. I didn't scan the parking lot to see if there's a weighted in tags. And today would be a bad day to do that too. It's going to scan around. As we see up here at the Striker Athletic Complex, there are games going on, youth games. I think looks like probably at least high school age, another field or two. Again, well-used facility up here. There are 8 fields.
I know the Wichita FC has an academy down here, and I believe they use the facility quite often.
Indeed. I believe that 8 count does include the indoor practice facility, which you've watched any of the games here, either today, all day today, or whenever you tuned in. If you any games on the championship field, the background is the indoor facility.
Teams have utilized that today, obviously, in warm-up times, staying inside to get out of the heat.
Don't blame them. Nice save, though. That was a good look for the Bears. Oliveris jumps all over it, though. Again, I mentioned earlier, coming into the tournament, he was first in the nation in save percentage. That was one of those notes given, delivered by their coach. On the other hand, here's Salt Lake now. Deep on the left side, he's got an opening. He's passes it to the center. Shot deflected up and over.
Yeah, good defense right there by Harcum. Lucas Ashley bends down to cause the deflection.
Impressive work by the Bruin offense. So yet again, they're getting that ball. Yuba and indeed. I say really Yuba and Johnson, 2 of the key cogs for this Salt Lake offense. They've got some speed. They will get out in a hurry. Yuba's got some lengthiness to him too. As that kick, attempted cross, I think. I don't think that's trying to go bend that end. Anyway, Jeff gets it. Ready to put it back in play. Under 38 minutes to go. Here's second half of action. Just trying to finish up. Who will be vying for the title tomorrow and the under the Kansas sun?
Yeah, a couple of the interesting facts about the championship matches tomorrow. Obviously, we could see a 1 versus a 2. That's always really good to see. The top seeds, because it's going to be top flight competition against each other. It's been top flight competition overall in the tournament, nonetheless, on the D1 and D2 side. But you could have 3 of the teams between all the 4 that had lost their first match, and then they bounced back to get to the championship, contest. So that is kind of interesting to see how it unfolds. Both D2 teams are the case, and then obviously Salt Lake, that's the case for them as well.
It is interesting. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about this tournament. I love the setup of it, to have the pools leading up into the semifinals. I just think it's a great way to, very equitable way. A little contact, no whistle, and here comes Bruins. Peters in defense. Johnson turns him around a little bit. Johnson should have a look. Johnson's shot is up, and it is in. Pouring it on now. Bruins.
By number 9, Levante Johnson.
Johnson, just the Ontario, Canada native, took it coast to coast pretty much. He got Peters turned around a couple times.
And you knew a matter of time he would be firing off some opportunities. Obviously, the leading goal scorer for Salt Lake is Johnson. You knew a matter of time he was going to take a shot or two himself. He hadn't had a lot of opportunities over the course of the match, but he gets one there for a goal.
And it is 4-0, 36-25 on the clock. Well, it's a lot of time. There's trying to think of another sport equivalent. Like, what would this be compared to? Because there's roads to hoe, and then there's something else. I don't know. Harcum's got themselves in a giant hole here. I think that'd be a mixed metaphor then at best. But anyway, all I know is that down 4-0 is going to be a tall order for a Harcum squad that still, I think it's just 3 shots on goal, 5 shots total.
Yeah. Hold up. It's 5 shots on total, 3 on goal in the matchup for the Bears.
It is not a great spot to be in if you're a Harcum fan watching at home from Pennsylvania. But there's a little look here. Now attacking from the left side. Opportunity lost. Not quite as dramatic as Paradise lost, but it is an opportunity lost on the left side. I was an English major. I don't know if
there you go.
That sneaks out occasionally. Anyway, zoom action. Harcum with the ball, attacking, trying to get something through the middle of that defense. That shot right into the hands of Olivares. Olivares with a pretty nice game. Last couple of shots he's had to do something with. Spent a lot of the first half just watching his defense do the work. I guess that's a positive thing for the Bears. They're at least getting to Olivares a little bit. That pass down to Owusu. Owusu working against a handful of Bear defenders. He gets it out. Unfortunately, it will end up with Peters. There's a whistle and a foul on Owusu. Watching it back and forth. Salt Lake with the ball again. With ball out, Peters takes the shot. I think we'd call that a shot. It probably would have been gone in. Again, using your definition. I love it. At any rate, as we reset here, Select Sports is proud to be the official match ball of the National Junior College Athletic Association. Select Super FIFA match ball is used exclusively at all NJCAA soccer championships. Select Sport, inspired by history, but designed for the future. Speaking of the future, Salt Lake's future looking pretty bright. Up 4-0 now, 34 minutes left here in the second half. Kingsford tries to push it forward.
Yeah, ultra efficient with their touches towards the goal in this matchup for the Bruins of Salt Lake. I mean, you have 12 shots, 10 on goal. I mean, they have been pinpoint accurate as far as putting those on point to challenge Harcum all throughout the course of this contest, and then obviously getting 4 goals in the matchup, and it's been an array of scorers too. Owusu, I know, has 2, but then Rich now and also Johnson with the goal as well.
This may be as impressive an offensive performance as we've seen on the Division I side.
You mentioned
all
obviously there wasn't many contests on the Division I side that had featured multiple goals. Just looking back at the scores, Salt Lake scored 3 obviously in their matchup against Barton, so that match featured 4 goals combined. The Laramie County LSU Eunice game featured 5 goals, but that was combined.
Yeah.
So nobody had scored 4 individually, at least on the Division I side. Division II side, there was a match that had 9 goals, which was insane. But 7 scored by one team. But this by far and away, as a team perspective, pretty dominant individual performance.
Another look at the Kansas Sunset. That is one of the, we may not have a lot of scenery, if you will. There's some hills, there's some pretty areas. There's some, but we do have some great sunsets out here,
We do.
and there's a great look at it. The sun slowly sets here, both on here us at Stryker Stadium, but also kind of looking that way for the Harcum College Bears team. In the meantime, you can follow all the action of the 2021 NJCAA National Championships live on the NJCAA network. Go to www.njcaatv.com to view live and archived broadcasts of all the NJCAA national tournaments, men's soccer, women's soccer, whatever sport you're into, it is there. The NJCAA network is also available for your convenience on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Android TV streaming platforms.
Matter of fact, I got the app on my phone.
There you go. That's not even that's not even a choice. Make sure to mention that. I'll edit the copy. I don't know if the national office will necessarily appreciate that, but
it's extra promotion.
Exactly, right? I feel like that's extra credit. Right?
Yes, yeah.
Bonus points awarded for us as we await the return of play. First water break down here in the second half. We're going to resume play. Ball to be started with Olivares. Boots it deep. Does end up with Harcum here on the near side. Bears trying to get something doing here. It's one of those moments, while there is plenty of time, given as well as Salt Lake's played, it kind of feels like a long shot, I suppose. One of the things I wonder if we'll see eventually will be one or both coaches go with a lot more of their freshmen in. It's a little early for that. But at some point, might as well, if you got some players that don't see as many minutes, at some point here, and I'd guess, probably about the 15-minute mark, maybe a little further down the road.
Yeah, you asked the question, it's like, do you put some of the reserves in? Obviously, you want to give them opportunity to play first at the national tournament, get that experience. But then also you got to worry about the fact that you're turning around and playing tomorrow night. So, get maybe a little bit of extra rest for some guys potentially.
Exactly. Particularly if somebody has like a nagging injury or something like that or something. And it has been a long, hot one out here. Maybe less so for this game, more so for Iowa Western, actually.
Yeah.
That pass sails by, intentionally so. Cleared by the Bruins. It will be a throw-in for the Bears.
I'm a bit surprised Kingsford didn't actually go after that. He let it go through his legs. I know he knew that there was another guy of his teammates behind him, but still, I'm just a bit surprised he didn't try to make a touch himself.
As am I, considering, again, it's been a tough night for him out there. Obviously, the Salt Lake defense keying on him. He's one of those players you know at all times, and that's been the way all season. He's still been able to make things happen all season long, except for tonight, though. But that's true for the entire Bear squad, honestly, coming up against this Bruin defense. The ball goes down.
In the game for Salt Lake, number 6, Mason McRae.
So there we go. We see a guy that maybe doesn't see as much action coming into the contest.
Exactly. He's actually a native of Farmington, Utah. A handful of Utah players on this Salt Lake squad. Not a lot, but a handful seems accurate. By a quick count, looks like 6, give or take. Uh-oh. Well, while you can't see, all you're missing is Salt Lake. Now, Yvonne taking it across to the far side. Pass to McRae. McRae moves it back. They end up centering it. Now coming around the near side. Or not. Maybe let's reset the whole thing. Indeed, they will. That pass almost trouble. They're just going to bring it all the way back. So let's start from midfield yet again. It goes out of bounds. Will be thrown in stay with Salt Lake squad.
Despite Salt Lake actually scoring early, obviously within the first 2 minutes of the match, it was a 1-0 contest for a while, and didn't feel like Harcum was out of this contest per se for a majority of the points of it, but Salt Lake was discrepancy in shots were still there. But then in the 31st minute, they got that second goal, and it's only expanded and grown since.
And a great opportunity right here. There's a look right there, shot. I think it ricocheted off a defenseman first, so Jeff could easily get a hold of it. And Salt Lake not content to rest on their laurels quite yet in this one.
Yeah,
Like I mentioned earlier, he's sending the message whether Iowa Western is here or whether the Reavers are watching at home or in their hotel room, or both. One of those things is they're going to be aware of this. They're going to be score watching at the very least. The coaches are certainly watching the game. And again, all you got to do, all that, the psychological advantage right there is going to be putting that seed of doubt in the number one seed's minds if you can.
I don't know if you can. I mean, with as confident as Iowa Western is playing.
This is also true. Let's make them think twice, maybe. That's maybe the best you can hope for. Particularly, say, hey, we got to the finals with a 4-0 lead, a 4-0 win. Of course, Iowa Western hasn't given up a goal either, so you should play out this thread no matter what. Nice little takeaway. Mario. He has it taken away on the far side. I almost said Iowa Western. Salt Lake with it. Across the field pass. Deflected away by Harcum. That's Kingsford. Working hard for the ball. Sophomore wanting to go out as strong a finish as possible. That pass intended for Phillip. Behind him, we can't get to it. Harcum comes away with it. Hey, that's one of the few times that a player made a little contact, put his hands up, and didn't actually get the whistle blown against him. Harcum works the ball around. I'll remind you all of that. Order your official 2021 NJCAA Division I Men's Soccer Championship merchandise online at the NJCAA store. Also order your Division II Men's Soccer Tournament stuff. You can order any division, anything you want to from the store. There's a wide selection of everything.
Yeah, and generic NJCAA merchandise too.
Exactly. So visit shop.njcaa.org to view exclusive national championship and other NJCAA merchandise. And maybe you want one from the men's side, one from the women's side, one from Division I, one from Division II. Get a little bit of everything, get a generic one. And if it all adds up to $75, you get free shipping. And for your first order, you get 10% off. Use the promo code WELCOME10. So all sorts of deals. Go to that website. That's that website again, shop.njcaa.org, and order your official NJCAA gear today.
A couple more reserve guys on both sides actually coming in. Rafael Calderon hadn't seen any action yet for Salt Lake, but he's in the game for the first time. And Rise Williams on the Harcum side coming in for the first time as well.
You can see Williams showing at least one of the pool games. I think both of them, actually. But you're right, we haven't seen him today. And now, 20 minutes gone here in the second half. Whistle down here.
They stopped the clock for something.
That's a yellow card. That would be why. It's going to be issued to Santiago Delfino. Although, no, that shouldn't be. It should be more Jacob Contreras.
I actually think it's actually on Jason Chavez.
Oh, okay. I was watching the replay and I
I
was like,
thought that's who walked off the field at least.
all right, let's go with that then.
Now on the field for the Bruins, number 2.
Yeah, they gave it to Chavez.
All right.
Chambers.
So yellow card given to Jason Chavez, defenseman from West Valley City, Utah. He's going to go sit. Not exactly in the penalty box, but soccer equivalent of it. Philip turns the ball over. Not sure who he thought was there, but it certainly wasn't one of his teammates. That shot keeping it bounce. No whistle. There is a bear down. Not to be confused with trying to bear down on something. He's up now. A lot of chirpiness over there. Nothing really happening. In fact, it looks like the entire Salt Lake squad want to tell the official about something. We're going to see a timeout here, and not exactly sure what the topic is, but they're certainly animated about it. You can see right there, that's Paul Rich now. Did score one of the Bruins' goals here. Okay, their question has been resolved, and it will be a throw-in for Harcum on the far sideline.
Ref getting cussed out in 14 different accents.
I have a feeling the official was more or less saying, "I'm not going to tolerate that," and in that sequence of events. So if you do it again, you're going to be taking a seat.
And in situations like this, that would be a disastrous
Yeah,
thing. That's what the worst thing could happen for a Salt Lake player right now.
Yes, yeah, if you flirt with an opportunity where you get taken out of this ball game, then you're out for the championship. You don't want that at all.
You're letting both your coach and your teammates down over nothing in a game that you have well in hand. This ball go back and forth there. Pass over to the right side. Fernandez gets it to Landau. Fernandez back to the middle. Peters with it. Peters out to Williams, and they're going to try it down the left side. Back and forth. There it is. Revietto with it for a brief second. That kick ahead of Ortiz. And up and back to midfield. Peters heads it, keep it in play. A lot of action back and forth on the far side, but not a lot of advancement of the ball for the Bears. Kind of the story of the day for the most part. Still just 5 shots, only 3 on goal.
Yeah.
And we are well into the second, right around actually the midway point of the second half. That long pass, tracked down, Calderon. Calderon gets it. Back to one of his teammates right there. They Philip with it. Now back over. Oh, see, that's Calderon with it on the left wing. That shot easily scooped up. Geoff. What's your place to start the Harcum offense? Not a lot of energy at this point for Harcum. Any win that might have been in their sails, I think, was quickly taken out here in the second half. That almost immediate goal, but Salt Lake's they're not done yet. Attacking on the right side. There's a shot. It would have gone outside the goal anyway, but yet another shot. I believe it was McCray over there on the right side.
I wanted to look back. We talked about obviously Harcum only having 5 shots in the match. When was the last time we had actually seen a shot from them? So I was looking back at the stats.
Yes.
It was in the 51st minute.
Oh my.
Yeah, so quite earlier in the second half, since they have last actually got an official shot opportunity for Harcum.
Well, looking for one here. Advancing the ball relatively well that time. This is most promising it looks like from them for a little bit. Remember to keep up with the latest news, updates, and all sorts of goings-ons in the NJCAA men's soccer and all their other sports by visiting the official website of the National Junior College Athletic Association at www.njcaa.org. Oh, wow. Salt Lake yet again. Making it look easy. They get the ball down a lot faster. They've let Harcum get down there. And it'll be a kick. Free kick right there. McCray is down.
Yeah, I mean, that was Contreras just a moment ago before it went over to McCray. I mean, he looked like he was just weaving through a maze with ease.
Yeah, it's a tough position to be in, though, to go undefeated all season and then just kind of get, I hesitate to use a word like route, but that's kind of what it feels like. I mean, all things but.
It happened in our second game in the Division II side as well. We had Heartland that was undefeated, but they suffered loss. Now, Heartland was a little bit more competitive with the goals as far as the margin of victory in that contest. It was back and forth, matter of fact. Heartland actually led twice, but Harcum just struggling a lot to get opportunities.
Eventually, by the way, down that was number 7, Dennis Chung. Chung was very active in their first game in pool play. A little quieter the next one out, and that's, I think, the first time I've said his name all day today.
He had a good cross, I remember, in one sequence of the first half of the couple of shots that they put together. But yeah, other than that,
we got Svideman getting his first action. This freshman from Spain. Monforte de Lemos, Spain.
And it looks like the teams are taking a water break.
A little early for the 15-minute water break, but we're taking it anyway. I don't have any more promos I necessarily need to read. I was going to go through them. You know what? We'll take a second here. Let's talk about the Division II matchup tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow
How's
it sets up to be an interesting one. 4 o'clock start time here in Wichita at Striker Sports Complex. The D2 action. Catch it right here on the NJCAA Network. 5-seeded Southeastern taking down the 1-seed Pima today, and a bit of a surprise for some.
I would say so.
But Southeastern playing really well. The Blackhawks will draw the matchup of the 2-seeded Community College of Baltimore County Essex, the Knights, who responded from their initial pool play loss, as did Southeastern too. And the Knights taking care of business against Heartland in a very good matchup that saw back and forth. Essex actually didn't lead till late in that match, tied it multiple times, but saw a lot of goals in that one. A couple PK goals. So, should be interesting to see how a team from Iowa and Southeastern, full of international players, going to be playing a team from Maryland that's East Coast guys, but also some international flavor in there as well. Both teams, though, here's the biggest thing: both teams can score, and both teams shoot a lot.
This is true.
Statistically over the course of the year. So
should be a good one. And I feel the same way about this one. We won't be East versus Midwest. It'll be Midwest versus Mountain, I guess.
Mountain time zone, I think, is Utah. Yeah.
We call the Rocky area, whatever you want to.
I don't think that they're that to the Pacific time zone yet out there.
I was trying to figure out what region. I hesitate to call them. They're not West Coast. I mean,
nah, not quite.
Anyway, so it'll be a Midwest team versus a more West team.
I mean, their district title is West district title, I guess, but that also is one factor because the junior colleges in California aren't in the NJCAA. So
also true. So let's just we'll call it the West. So from West versus Midwest in the Division I is barring something. Well, it would surprise me on so many different levels if it ends up any other way. Salt Lake with the corner kick. I kind of missed that part of that, but both teams again kind of playing out the thread here as I look out there and see some unfamiliar numbers.
I mean, the stats say it enough. Obviously, the 4 goals say enough in themselves, but being the 4-0 lead. But you look at Salt Lake's 14 shots, 12 on goal. You add in 6 more corners, which usually lead to shot opportunities more often than not. They've just had ample opportunities over the course of the match, and it's shown. I mean, they've been pushing it, and I mean, just right down the throat, nearly almost, of Harcum with their offensive opportunities and attacks.
And again, and with so many of those shots on goal, so many of those. And one of the things as I kind of glanced up at the scoreboard, one of the things that just crossed my mind is one of those. I think you measure your corner kicks by is essentially a measure of how aggressive your offense is, right? How much time you're spending down in that third and you're attacking third. In 6 tonight for Salt Lake, 0 for Harcum.
Yeah.
And that's a
Well,
pretty
they
tall
actually
statistic.
won. They got one.
They have one. All right. Well, the scoreboard needs to keep up there. Oh, they got the one right there at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They didn't
Yeah.
get it off, actually.
Yeah, they got
They got
off,
barely off,
but
they
it's
got off,
like
yeah.
they didn't have anybody up
There was no
to
attack.
really get a good shot at it.
Exactly. So only one for the Bears. Just kind of ran into a buzzsaw in the form of a different kind of bear.
Yeah, I mean, to give Salt Lake credit, obviously, I'm not sure, how they did. Obviously, against that Coastal Bend team, they outshot them. I know in the match, 18-7, and gave up the 1 goal. But they really seemed like they bounced back, against Barton.
I don't know why that just now clicked with what that. I think I said there's been a lot of soccer between when that was game 2.
That was the
and
second
pool play.
game of pool play.
And then we're at game 4 today. Only 2 left in the tournament. The 2 final games tomorrow. I do remember that goal right now, and that was actually a self-inflicted wound. That was Salt Lake. It was the defenseman tried to pass back to the goalie, didn't get enough on it, and there was a Coastal Lake player nearby, turned on the jets and kicked what was kind of essentially sitting between the 2 guys. So essentially a miscue led to the 1 goal that cost Salt Lake that opening round game.
Well, I'll say they've learned from it. Because they went out and were guns a-blazing against Barton, from what I heard.
Yes.
I'm friends with the Barton SID, and he was telling me that Salt Lake was on the attack quick, and
they were.
And Barton was on their heels in that showdown. And then, obviously here they have just been attack offensively, and boom, they scored within the first 2 minutes of the match.
Yeah, and they're taking what was a highly ranked offensive player and offensive team, and held them to, this.
Yeah.
So impressive on both sides. We're at just a touch over 16 minutes.
And it was the 51st minute, the last time Harcum had a shot.
Still.
Yeah.
Now the game for the Bruins, number 15, William Greener.
Indeed. That is, in fact, William Greener checking in, number 15, seeing his first action, I believe, of the tournament. Freshman from Frisco, Texas.
Any guy that might be used to the heat, it might be him. He's from Texas. So.
This is true. It gets steamy down there. Well, the humidity compares to what we've had the last couple days.
I definitely don't think they see it in Utah.
No.
Or Pennsylvania, matter of fact, for Harcum either.
Fair enough. Like maybe to look at what country they're from.
Yeah.
So that's maybe
that might
Colombia,
be
maybe. It's a little close to the equator. Uruguay. Anyway. So I don't think they do in England for those Englishmen over here playing. Ball on the far side. Yeah. It's just impressive that even with the game feeling pretty well in hand for the Bruins, they are not letting up on that intensity on either side.
No doubt. I mean, preserving the shutout, obviously is another goal, I'm sure, of theirs to be able to put together.
They're looking for their 12th shutout on the season. I believe that'd be good for second most in the country behind Iowa Western.
Indeed.
one of those reasons why it feels a little preordained outside of the initial the opening round hiccup at two teams that have had just spectacular seasons. To take nothing away from any of the other teams that made the
No,
tournament.
yeah.
If you make the tournament, you've had yourself a really nice season.
Exactly. Accomplishing that feat to get to nationals is a huge accomplishment in itself.
8 regional champions.
And
4
then you get
at-larges.
4 at-larges, yeah. And obviously, if you're an at-large selection, you had to have done something pretty darn good during the
Right.
season to get to be a pick like that.
We saw an at-large earlier today, actually. Iowa Lakes 10
Yep.
seed got in as an at-large and ran the table on their pool. So I think we saw a lot of just one-goal games. Didn't matter what the seeding was. It's just testament to how good a play we've had here in Wichita over the last few days.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the games, even if they featured 2 or more goals, were still really close.
Yeah.
And that's just again a huge speak to the successful teams that have been, earned the spots and rights to be here at nationals, and I was on both sides.
Whistle going to go against Salt Lake. Try to put it back in play quickly. Somehow kept in. Pretty nifty little footwork right there. Calderon managed to keep it in. Ball will stay with Salt Lake right now. Sergio Martinez with it. Gets back to Rich now. Rich now one of 3 goal scorers today for Salt Lake.
Nice header for himself.
That was a nifty little play. 2 goals for Samuel Owusu and 1 for Levante Johnson. As the Harcum squad resets through Chuck Diouf. It's not like Diouf had a bad game. It was just, I think it was more just how effective the Salt Lake offense was.
It's definitely been that. Diouf has not played bad at all for Harcum. I mean, the first goal just flew over his head. He just was unable to touch it, and then he just kind of just seeing so many shots fly his way.
Ball bouncing around. I guess I could say this over here the last few minutes. More of the action has been played on the Salt Lake half of the field, but not necessarily in the attacking third. But Harcum's closer than they were for an awful lot of the first half. Still without a shot on goal for some time though. Down, then getting up. That's well, I'm not sure who that is because I don't have a 34 in my program.
I'm going to assume it's this John.
In fact, I'm going to scribble that in. We're going to assume it's Samson Aisu, as that he is on the roster sheet without a number next to him. So the freshman from Nigeria, will give him credit for being in the game. Not that we give out official statistics here.
Yeah,
but
we aren't the official stats.
Thank goodness, actually. Next looks for another shot right there. There's a shot up and oh, wow. That was another nice look.
Yeah, Calderon, they got a good piece of it on the post.
Coming up on 10 minutes left here in the second half. Pretty much. Well, it feels a little anticlimactic after what's been a very exciting day.
Yeah, it was. Our first games of the day on the Division II side, were some tight affairs early on in the showdowns, but a 3-1 decision for Southeastern over Pima, 3-2 decision for Essex over Heartland, and then Iowa Western, I believe it was a 3-0 decision in their favor for their contest as well. Yeah, it was over Iowa Lakes, although that game was tighter than the 3-0 decision, I feel, and
yes,
Iowa Western scored a couple of goals in the latter portion of the second half to extend their lead.
I would safely say I think the Essex game was probably our best game of the day.
Yeah, as far as down to the wire, tight, all the way. And
Essex was down for an awful lot of that game.
they
or
were,
tied.
yeah, they never led until that goal that gave them the win.
Yeah.
So.
Number 18, Andreas Bermudez.
And even in our matchup with Pima and Southeastern,
yes.
Pima was the aggressor out, shot wise in that matchup, and was attacking for a while, but they weren't out of it for a bit, and then late Southeastern was able to extend upon that. But here, the story has been all Salt Lake.
Indeed, it has. Bruins came out hot early, scoring 2 minutes into the contest. Then there was I want to call it a fallow period. I'm not sure that not much happening. Because again, it wasn't like Harcum was been able to do much with it all night. And it's ball out, pass ahead. Oh, nice ball work. It's a little too far from his intended target. Some players who don't get a lot of time, like I see 18, Andres Bermudez, and for Salt Lake, there he is right there.
And the other thing I like to see is, yes, they're also getting in for the calls, but the teammates on the sideline, from Salt Lake cheering the fact that these guys are getting some opportunities to play. Maybe the guys that don't see a lot of time on the season.
Exactly, get that good team. I've heard a lot of that. I've heard a lot of some just great team moments around just the past few days. Win or lose, I got yesterday, and I couldn't. Not yesterday. That'd be 2 days ago.
All bleeds together.
It does, and I can't remember which team it was. A team that had just been eliminated. Their locker room again was down here on the side of the stadium, and I heard them just yelling some encouraging things. Some of the players are taking it harder than others. Just some keep your head up. Just it's what you do. That's what good teammates do.
Yes.
Yeah, it's understandable to be disappointed to get to the stage and not advance. We got 12 teams here, and I like to joke that no one wakes up in the morning wanting to lose.
Yeah,
no one says, "Man, I want to go out and just be terrible today." That's not a goal for any athlete anywhere. But when someone will win, someone will lose, and it's just a matter of how you respond from that.
There can only be one team that finishes the year with a win.
Exactly
in each division. So,
well, I guess in a very petty, bureaucratic point of order, there was a meaningless game.
Fair enough. You can win your last pool play game and actually finish the season with a win. Touche on that. On soccer side,
it is. It was. That's the most.
That is accurate.
Yes, it's not the way. It's not the way they want to win their finish their season with a win. That's but in a much more real
little
sense, yes.
Consolation, I guess.
Exactly. Closest to. We don't do consolation games, which is good because I appreciate them in a certain sense, but I've never really cared for them as either a fan or a coach. I've never coached a sport that actually had a consolation game, but again, I understand them in a big picture way. Particularly if you really need to figure out who's third and fourth. Sure, then you could do that. But we don't have to worry about that tomorrow. Tomorrow's just two games.
The championships.
Just
who's gonna take that nice hardware home?
Kick right here. Calderon lines it up, takes it, bounces off Jeff with the save. The Salt Lake still has it over on the right side. Looking to add to that 4-0 score, under 6 to play. This little ball work right there. Ubigetto showing off his ball handling skills. And it's poked away, but will be a goal kick. Joe puts it back in play. Now coming up the right side. Pass to the middle. Harcum with one of their better attempts in a while. There's Kingsford. He's taken down. He is very frustrated, understandably so. He thought he was going to get a penalty kick for that. Said the officials decided that not enough contact to warrant the penalty kick. Play continues. Now under 5 to go. Peters with it on the far side. Again, gets the ball to Kingsford. And this time Kingsford loses it, but he gets it back. That's good determination from the sophomore. That will be a throw in for Harcum. Substitution.
Now in the game for Harcum, number 11, Juan Ortiz.
I do appreciate that rule. I was unfamiliar with it coming into the tournament about when the clock stops for substitutions in the final 5 minutes. That clock kept rolling there because Harcum is not in the lead. Now Salt Lake, yet again, on the attack. Slightly misplayed by Martinez. It looks to be, it'll be a throw-in for Harcum. Getting throwing in, that's Jonathan Castro, West Jordan, Utah. He's taking every throw in on this side, this half, I think. He's showing off a little bit of speed there. However, too much Bruin defense. It's really, this might as well be the subtitle of this game.
Yeah. You write the recap of this one. It's, Salt Lake dominates. That's pretty much the simple headline in basically all capacities. I mean, they have stymied the offense of Harcum throughout the competition. A handful of shots. That is it. And you take 4 of those shots, you put 2 of them together in pairs. That's the 2 real big offensive sets that Harcum had in the first half, and then they have 1 shot here in the second half.
You said that was about 7 minutes into the second half, right? Yep. And
51st minute.
Yep. They haven't had one since. We got less than 3 to go. Your clock on your screen pretty much mirrors the clock of the game, the official one.
Now, Salt Lake nearly had double-digit shots at the half. They have 16 in the game now, so
that's a lot of shots. It was kind of wonder. I'm sure he won't, but Geoff will have nightmares of the ball coming at him tonight. He closes his eyes and thinks he's going to he's going to make another save. It's kind of been the way it's gone. The final 2 minutes of play. We look for another shot right here, or we don't. Every time it looks like Harcum might get something moving that way.
Bruins just have easily dispossessed the Bears over the course of this one so much. I mean,
McCray gets it forward. It's Greener and McCray.
I mean, it's like if they were bank robbers, they would have stole all the gems. I mean, just all over the place.
I also am picturing a 80s arcade game or something.
Yellow card.
Going against.
I think you were on me when he threw the ball. It appears so.
Is that going against Harcum?
I'm not 100% sure.
Has
to be because it's going to be a free kick here for Salt Lake. So.
And maybe it's a substitution, taking advantage of the stoppage in time.
Yeah, Chuna looking like I think he's the one that actually gets that called against him.
Dylan Mosier checks in for the first time.
The stats actually say it's Fernandez.
For Jorge Fernandez for Harcum?
For Harcum that got the yellow cards.
Okay. No. There's a kick sails right. Nothing doing there in the background. You can see at the top of your screen other things going on here at the Stryker Sports Complex. Sun has disappeared behind the haze. It sits off of the direction of the city. Under the lights here for the final minute 20.
In the game for the Bears, number 17, Dylan Moser.
You hear the Salt Lake team cheering on And some of the teammates who don't normally get in. There's Ahisu in defense.
1 minute left on the clock.
Whistle. Play continues.
So it'll be number 1 versus number 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, so that should be a good one. Should be good on both sides.
Be 7 o'clock start time here, Central Standard Time in Wichita for the D1 championship. 4 o'clock for the D2 championship.
Should be should be good games. It should also be some.
It's not even the heat at all.
It'll be a little warm out there. Heat index is forecast to be, last time I looked, just to be in the low 100s, right around kickoff for that Division II game.
They've done a really good job today, by the way. We took extra water breaks. They provided cold towels with ice and extra too for the players and stuff.
7, 6,
Yeah,
5,
I suspect that we'd have to do that, and there'll be a lot more of it tomorrow.
1.
But we're prepared for it here. We deal with it here all the time. Didn't think we'd hit it this early in June, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. All right, so Salt Lake Community College Bruins get the win 4-0 of the Harcum College Bears. Any final thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, it was all Salt Lake. I mean, it was early and evident that Salt Lake was ready to go in this one.
É isso, galera. O último classificado, então, para as finais amanhã é o Salt Lake, vai enfrentar a Iowa Western. Eles devem mostrar agora os gols, os melhores momentos, então vou deixar rodando por aqui e acabando eu já encerro. Amanhã a gente deve transmitir a final, ainda vou pegar alguns detalhes, mas a final amanhã é 9 horas da noite, horário de Brasília. Ainda vou confirmar tudo isso porque tem fuso horário lá, horário de verão, enfim. Mas é isso. Coach da Salt Lake comemorando, mas amanhã vai ser jogaço porque a gente tem Iowa Western, que era a atual número 1 do país, e Salt Lake, que era a atual número 2 do país. Então, a lógica lá daquele ranqueamento acabou provando ser verdade. A número 1 vai jogar contra a número 2 na final, uma coisa que não sempre acontece. Na verdade, a maioria das vezes não acontece. É uma coisa até rara de acontecer. Então, a lógica dos votos, os favoritos, se confirmaram, a gente vai ter o número 1 contra o número 2 amanhã na final. Iowa Western contra Salt Lake. Fechado? Boa noite para todo mundo, galera. Vou soltar aqui os melhores momentos e já encerro a transmissão. Valeu. Lembra de clicar no like, quem ainda não deu, que as poucas pessoas que sobraram, que a maioria já saiu agora. E inscrever no canal também. Valeu, galera. Boa noite.